Guys. So on this day, I'm cruising down Thika Superhighway with no worries at all. Yeah? I was eating life with a big spoon, as they say, soft life. And then I realized I've missed my exit. So what happens when you miss your exit on Thika Road? For me, nilijita mkutano mbio mbio, and I decided the easier way is to just continue on and start a new life in my alley. Easy peasy. First stop was at Trotri restaurant for some lunch, which is a few kilometers from Nanyuki town itself. The restaurant sits on top of a sacred fig tree. It is next to an innovative trout pond farm called Tam Trout, from where the fresh trout is harvested, cooked, and then served to your table, of which can also be sold as a takeaway. Trout Tree Restaurant also offers other types of food, including but not limited to beef, pizza, and various vegetarian options. The next stop is the Equator Marker in Nanyuki. Nanyuki is among the 9 towns in Kenya where the equator passes. The other towns are Maseno, Timboroa, Meru, Nyahururu, Solai, Hagadera, Eldamaravine, and Siaya. The next stop is where we are going to sleep. We slept at One Stop Nanyuki, which is directly opposite the Nanyuki airstrip, which is also just a few kilometers before getting to Nanyuki town itself. So we had to stop here first so that we can check in. And as you can see, this is where we spent the night in this hut. On the direct opposite side of this hut from the window is a direct view of Mount Kenya, where in the mornings or clear days there's a clear view of the peak of Mount Kenya. Also, in this compound, this is where the 100-year-old house is housed, which I have done a separate video on it, and the link is in the description. Did you know that Nanyuki was started by British settlers in 1907? After checking in, I decided to head to Olpejeta Conservancy, which is 15 kilometers from Nanyuki town. Unfortunately, as you can see, it was raining when we got there, and on advice from the game wardens, we decided not to proceed into the park, and we headed back to Nanyuki town, where we discovered another gem, Mwisho wa Reli. Have you ever heard about the term Mwisho wa Reli, which has an interesting story behind it? Some people believe that the engineers who are building the railway in the early 30s went to party in Nanyuki town and got lost or lost the map that was to guide them for the construction of the railway going north, which was supposed to go to towns like Meru, Isiolo, and Marsabit. After the visit to Mwisho wa Reli, we headed back to our hut in one stop Nanyuki as soon as dark was soon approaching, and so that we could rest and continue the following day. And something that I've noticed is that Nanyuki gets dark very early compared to other places I've visited. So on this particular day, at around 5:30, 6ish, it was already dark. The next morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. in order to view the sunrise and have a clear view of Mount Kenya before starting out the journey to the town which is in the middle of Kenya. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what the town is yet, so I want to keep you guessing, and later on drive to Mount Ololokwe. Before then, other activities that can be done in Nanyuki include visiting Mount Kenya, and if you're an enthusiast of hiking, climb through the Sidmon track or the Naromoru route. Visit Garindare Forest, which is 40 kilometers away. Visit Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, which is also some 40 kilometers away. And also right here in Nanyuki, through the Sidmon Gate, you can visit Mount Kenya Animal Orphanage. So by 8 a.m., I'm on the road headed towards Isiolo town. So Isiolo is the town that is in the exact midpoint of Kenya. Here is a junction of roads leading to Meru and Isiolo. If you go straight to the right, you go to Meru town and other towns like Embu, Kubu, and Tharaka-Nithi. But for me, I will proceed to the towns to the left, which leads to towns like Maili Saba, Isiolo, Marsabit, all the way to Moyale. Isiolo town. This is the town that is located exactly in the middle of Kenya. Isiolo town is the capital city of Isiolo County. Isiolo is said to be the transport hub to the northern towns of Marsabit and Moyale, as trucks and other travelers make stopovers here. It will also be the fork for the LAPSSET project, which is the Lamu Port and Lamu Southern Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor. The town is also served by the Isiolo International Airport and has a population of 80,000 people as of 2019 census data. And after passing through Isiolo, we proceeded towards a town called Archers Post, which has a roadblock by military guys to do some checks. So always remember to carry your identification documents when going north. Mount Ololokwe, the desert mountain in Samburu County. Originally, it was known as Donyo Sabache, according to all maps, but now it's simply known as Ololokwe. It is around 2,000 meters above sea level. The mountain is located in Namunyak Conservancy in Samburu East constituency, which is in Samburu County, and it is a sacred mountain to the Samburu people. Something to note is that this is somehow a semi-desert, and the sun here is not to be joked with. How do we get here from Nairobi? Mount Ololokwe is about 340 kilometers away from Nairobi and around 70 kilometers away from Isiolo town. Also, at Archer's Point, which is a town between Isiolo and the mountain, there's always a security roadblock and check, so make sure to always carry with you your identification documents. Also, if you're a hiking enthusiast, then this is a perfect mountain for you to hike. Just imagine the views from the top. Mount Ololokwe, the desert mountain in Samburu County.